What's going on, sports fans? This is Jake Waxman.
And Tyler Lavalette.
Welcoming you to WTV10 here in Waterford with another Friday Roundtable and more talk about sports. And to kick things off, more baseball talk.
Absolutely. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because we got something very more exciting to go into in a few seconds. And National League loses the All-Star game 4-0 in Philadelphia. It was NL got their runs early and AL got runs in the first. Then pitching took over. Bit of a boring dud if you were into the Midsummer Classic. Jordan Walker wins the home run derby. Congrats, beating Kyle Schwarber and receiving his award to the boos of the Philly faithful. Don't be surprised. I mean, Philly fans, you know. Tigers and Cubs, they both start respective play tonight with the Cubs at home and the Tigers in Anaheim before the two teams meet next week for 3 at Wrigley. Whether or not the games will even be played is contingent on Canadian wildfires, but that all remains to be seen.
Absolutely. And just a quick refresher, just to sum up both the Tigers and the Cubs seasons so far. Tigers still fourth in the AL Central with a record of 44 and 52, but the good news is the Tigers are 7-3 in their last 10 games. Cubs sit second in the NL Central at 54 and 42, 6-4 in their last 10 games. So if you're a Tigers fan, there's still some hope, and if you're a Cubs fan, just be steady. Still a long ways to go.
Yeah, you did not hope for the best after that. You got to get the best after the Philadelphia series, but hey, it's still a long way to go. The break is over, and now you're going over against an Angel team that is treading water really, really badly in the AL West. So, if anything, you got a good chance to go on a fairly easier opponent. Just don't get too over cocky, though.
Yep. One game at a time, one night at a time, or one day game at a time. However you want to take it. It's a marathon, and there's still quite a ways to go till we get to end of September / beginning of October.
That it is. Now, 2 weeks ago, for the 4th of July, I was in a cabana suite at UWM Field in Utica, Michigan, half an hour away from here, watching the United Shore Professional Baseball League game between the East Side Diamond Hoppers and the West Side Woolly Mammoths, two of the 4 teams that play at UWM Field alongside the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the hometown Utica Unicorns. I say that in air quotes because all 4 teams play there. Speaking of the Unicorns, I had the wonderful opportunity to interview 2 players on that team in one of the stadium's backstop suites while the game was going on and prior to a rain delay hitting that caused the game to run late. Can we see the interview, please? Hello, everyone. This is Tyler from Two Guys Talk Sports. Today I am at UWM Field in Utica, Michigan, watching a baseball game with the United Shore Professional Baseball League, or USPBL for short. And with me, I have 2 players from the Utica Unicorns. Can you please state your name?
I'm Griffin Graham. I'm Calvin Chipper.
Nice to meet you guys. So, to explain to people what exactly this is, the league is, all 4 of your teams play here, including yourselves. What is it like to explain things to those wondering what this is all about?
So this league really is about them bringing together all 4 teams, and it's really about us being able to develop on a day-to-day basis. We don't really play every single day of the year. It's very much like a 3-game-a-week kind of thing where we have designated practices where we're able to make sure we're honing in our craft and getting better every day.
So, you guys play for the Unicorns. What are the? I have a Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers shirt on, and right now we have West Side and East Side. But you all play here. How do you ensure that the team, the fans who do go to many of the games, like they don't see it like feel like, oh, it's just the same teams again?
I don't really know. I mean, we have a pretty even schedule on who we play throughout the year. We don't really find ourselves playing the same team too many times in a row. It's kind of a even rotation of who gets to be the home team on the weekends, who gets to be the home team on the big Friday night game. It's pretty even how we spread it out throughout the year.
Yeah, and I think the staff here does a good job of keeping things interesting, finding reasons to want to bring people out to the ballpark. So it's not just like the same redundant, just normal baseball game every time. They have special events like today's the 4th of July. We got fireworks, bases are colored. They're always coming up with ways to get people to want to come to the ballpark.
That they do. I mean, it's no different than the boys down in Detroit, that's for sure. But yeah, the thing is, and so what do you guys do exactly? Like, I know you're playing. Like, what do you do about housing accommodations?
So we have a host family program here that I'm a part of right now, as well as also having league provided housing that do come out of players' paychecks, and I think Calvin's in that right now.
So you got both situations covered here then.
Yeah, I can attest with the host family program. It's really fun being able to go to a place like Michigan. Me being from Virginia, I don't know anyone out here, so having a family be able to open their house to me for a whole summer and bring me into the family is really special.
That's great to hear. And you also mentioned that there's the league housing. Like, what do you guys, what do you do on the days when there isn't a game, like Monday and Tuesdays? I generally notice on the calendar there's no games on those 2 days.
I mean, we're here practicing on most of those days we're not here, or like today we're here doing the real fun guy thing that they do, where they just kind of have players on the teams that aren't playing for that day. They come out and just kind of interact with the fans and do all sorts of things like that. So yeah, it's just we're practicing here on the days either here or at 2SP, and yeah, just kind of hanging around.
So, and I've heard that in the 10 years that this league has been formed, that we've had various players make it to the majors, with the most prominent one being pitcher Randy Dobnak, who now was with Mariners, if I remember correctly. But what is it like to know that this small league, unaffiliated with any MLB club, has somehow managed to produce such talent?
It builds a lot of confidence knowing that our commissioner, Justin Orenduff, he has the connections, he has the know-how, how to get us out of here and how to help us grow as baseball players as the season progresses, and that he has the connections to get us out of here if we're ready and when we're ready.
That's great, and you guys get a fair amount of the team scouts that take a chance. I mean, it's not like is that seem about right? That you might sometimes get team scouts from a particular team come here every now and then?
Yeah, we've seen a few in and out looking at specific guys. They definitely have a list of guys that they know are their top prospects that they put out there, and it's kind of like recruiting for college, where the big guys bring in the scouts, and then it's up to us to perform and put our best foot forward when we have the opportunity to throw in front of the guy that's looking to pick someone up.
That's very. Does it put a lot of pressure for you guys though, knowing that if some scout from one of the majors is coming, you mentioned that you got to get ready for that. Does it put any pressure on?
I mean, for some people, I'm sure it could, but for me, like usually I think a lot of scouts kind of show up unannounced because I think they like that on purpose. They don't want players knowing that they're in the building, so that they don't because if someone knows that a scout's there, they might try and do things differently that they normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Yeah, they want to kind of catch you by surprise and see how you are in your natural day-to-day at the field.
And then for me personally, it's out of my hands whether they want to pick me up or not. The only thing I can do is go out, put my best foot forward, and I think it's just any other outing.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming. And last question: how do you, if you want to get people, if you want to try to can you find a way to convince people that haven't come here as to why they should come to this ballpark?
It's special. There's nothing else really out here in professional baseball that's like it. I've been around baseball my whole life, Dad being a professional coach. There's nothing like this. The community, we're all in it together, and the kids look up to the guys here like we're superstars, and it's honestly amazing. As a kid from a small town in Virginia that really wasn't supposed to be anything, it's kind of cool to come out here and feel like Superman for a couple weeks in the summer.
Yeah, everybody here, Levy, it's like you said, it's a very unique experience. All the players in this league are hungry. We're all very excited for this opportunity, trying to continue to play and grow from here. Yeah, I mean, from a fan perspective, walking around today around the park, not actually playing, it seems like a very, very fun place to be to come watch a baseball game.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for taking the time to do this today.
Thank you for doing it with us, man. Of course.
Anytime. Well, that was the interview I did with two of the players from the Utica Unicorns. Now, unfortunately, they did not. The league did not play last night because of the wildfire smoke coming from Canada, and they will not be playing tonight. Same thing, consultations with local health authorities and what have you. Same situation, causing events at Pine Knob to get canceled and or rescheduled as well, along with a Major League Soccer game and Chicago game moved to October. Which had me some concerns with the game in the Tigers-Cubs next week, depending on how bad this wildfire smoke is. Hopefully it goes out soon because it's a fun ballpark. You guys many of you should go check it out. It's not that far to get to. You just got to take 59 and take the last exit before you get to the stadium, and you're there. Fun ballpark, very affordable. Highly recommend to go there.
Yeah. First of all, I want to start by saying, sports fans out there, stay safe, stay inside as much as you can, because this smoke right now that is coming from Canada via the wildfires, it's no joke right now. It's definitely affecting my voice. I won't sugarcoat it. Mm-mm. But secondly, I want to give a tip of the hat to the Utica Unicorns for doing this interview with Tyler. And Tyler, great job on that interview.
Thank you.
And a couple takeaways I have here. It's nice to see that the players' needs are being taken care of in any way that the team in this United Shores League, whatever they can do to help them, it's really awesome to see. And it's also, second takeaway is it's really awesome to see that through leagues like this, there is a pathway to even the pros or other leagues. It's really wholesome to see that kind of stuff. And thirdly, if you're just looking for something to do and you just want to watch baseball, but you don't want to go to an MLB game, go check these guys out. Go to this ballpark. It's a fun way to spend your Saturdays or your Sundays or whatever day of the week you want to go. Yep. I would recommend going and checking out the Unicorns and the United Shores Baseball League. Yep. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Not reasonably affordable pricing on food, tickets, merch, parking. Yeah, it's a good ballpark. Highly recommend going there. Well-run organization by Andy Appleby and the staff there. Can't say much in positive because what else can I say, really? Highly recommend going. Season runs through mid-September with the playoffs, and we'll start back up in May of 27. So if the MLB lockout causes issues next year, and we hope it doesn't, there's still fallbacks to work on in the metro area to go to if you still want that baseball itch if the pros and the owners can't reach a CBA deal. But even without that, it's still a fun place to go to. Go check it out.
Me and Tyler, we've had some really great memories there, and I had the fortune of not only going to a couple games with my man Tyler LaVallette here, but I've also had, from what I can recall, at least one or two games where we've been in the suites. And the suites at this ballpark, they're pretty underrated, if you ask me. Plenty of food to go around, but also the view of the ballpark is really, really good from those suites. But a lot of good seats in that house, too. So
yeah, and the cabana suite we were at was nice, too. We briefly had to deal with a rain shower that caused the game to end after 7 innings. We left early, but it was still fun. We were lucky to be protected under the roof there. So it was a fun time. Didn't see the fireworks, but it was still fun. That's what matters. You're still having fun.
Hey, with these smaller leagues, come on out, support these players if you can. But like I said, if you're looking for something to do, give these kind of baseball games a shot. Give them a chance. And hey, as long as you have fun, good stuff.
Yep. Just please don't try to not to do it when the smoke is bad. It's not going to be pretty otherwise.
Yeah. Avoid the smoke as much as you can.
Absolutely.
All right. So once again, hats off to my man Tyler Lavalette with doing a great job with that interview, and special thanks to the Utica Unicorns for taking the time to do this interview with Tyler Lavalette.
Yes, and I too want to say thanks to the USPBL for arranging this for us to do this as well. Huge shout out to the Andy Appleby and the crew over in Utica for that. This special opportunity came about and really took advantage of it. It was an honor for you to let me do this. So I am forever thankful for that opportunity you guys gave me. Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. With that said, we will shift gears to a really huge story coming out of not just Detroit sports, but mainly the Detroit Red Wings. So to sum it up, Stevie Wise, we call him, or Steve Yzerman, he is no longer the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings. Now, for the record, to clarify, he hasn't been released from the organization, but let's just say he's now going to be taking part in a different role rather than being the general manager, from what I understand.
It's kind of more of a emeritus chairman emeritus role, emeritus, whatever you say that word. But regardless, it's just he's out of the main seat. And what this does with the Larkin situation, I don't know, but it is super, super frustrating. Trust me. It's clear that the so-called Yzer plan was a bust, which is a shame, but these March stretches collapses do not help out in the slightest. Now, we do have the schedules for the Red Wings and of course the Blackhawks as a whole. Early matchup for both teams in Detroit, and then if I remember correctly, Jake, it was in January.
That is correct. I believe
for the Chicago matchup.
Yep, 16th of January was what Tyler told me, and I've got some bad news for Red Wing fans in terms of that first matchup with the Blackhawks. There's a high probability you won't see Connor Bedard in that matchup. He's out, of course, because he had surgery on his shoulder, so he's got a 4-month timeline of recovery. Unless he recovers a lot quicker than we expect, then he's not going to be available for the Blackhawks game against the Red Wings late October.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens even if Patrick Kane comes back for what it's worth. There's still no clear indication of what his plans are.
Yep. This whole Steve Yzerman thing. Okay, so I want to give credit to ESPN real quick. But here's what was said. The Red Wings organization, they announced Wednesday that Yzerman is transitioning from his role as executive vice president and GM, but will continue serving the organization as senior advisor to govern and senior Chris Ilitch, or CEO Chris Ilitch.
Right.
Sorry.
Owner, yep.
The team is searching for a new head of hockey operations at the moment. So this is coming after 7 seasons of the Yzerman plan. And I'm going to say this. I think Yzerman, he's a smart guy, got a great hockey IQ, knows how to scout out talent. So the fact that this is ending after 7 seasons, it is, in a way, it's shocking that this didn't work out. We're all, Detroit fans and even like hockey fans like myself, we're asking, where did it all go wrong with the Yzerman plan? Obviously, I think that the reason he was let go from his role within the team was obviously, as Tyler mentioned, the Dylan Larkin saga. And I think that might have been the last straw, and they just said, okay, we need someone else in command so that we can work things out and keep the captain, Dylan Larkin, in Detroit. The thing is, this whole thing's just weird to me. He built a team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals in Tampa with a whole lot of talent there. But things just didn't work out in Detroit. He wasn't able to build a playoff team in Detroit.
Yeah, it's just, what happened to that know-how? Mm-hmm. Did it not go make the drive up 75?
One can only wonder at this point. I mean,
did it get lost in Kentucky or the Brent or at the Brent's bench bridge going to Cincinnati and Ohio, or did it get lost somewhere in the fields of Ohio? You know how boring that section can be.
Did it get stuck on the Ambassador Bridge, I wonder? Oops.
Can't be stuck on the Gordy House. That's not quite open yet.
Oh, Gordon. All right, jokes aside, I mean, it's so weird. So he was able to put things together in Tampa and build a team that went to the Stanley Cup final, but in Detroit, he struggled to put together a team that was capable of making the playoffs. So it just
Tides of March don't help.
yeah. I mean, you had times where the Red Wings kind of fell off as a team, and some of that's beyond his control, of course.
Right.
But, so how did it's just one of those mysteries in terms of sports. How do things work out for a brilliant GM in one place, but then he comes home to the team he played for, and it just doesn't work out? I mean, the only thing I can think of is he was really good about drafting prospects. I mean, Moritz Seider comes to mind. That was a good pick for Steve Yzerman. He was really good about drafting. Free agency was a challenge for him in terms of building a team in Detroit. Now, he did pick up some really good players, like Tyler mentioned, Patrick Kane, and, of course, Alex DeBrincat, both who came from the Blackhawks, of course. But aside from that, it feels like, aside from those two players that he got in free agency, he didn't quite hit the mark as much as he did in the draft. So,
I mean, even Jeff Petrie didn't do well. And that's Dan Petrie's son. And from Ann Arbor, which is the same.
yeah. I mean, another question that really comes to my mind, I think in Tampa, he had free reign in Tampa and was able to do things his way. And as a result, he was very successful there because he was able to use his ingenuity and know-how there. But I do wonder, did the higher-ups in Detroit maybe limit? Not saying, because I don't blame for this whole thing, 7 seasons of frustration for Detroit. I think it's unfair to blame Steve Yzerman because he was doing the best he could. I do wonder, did the higher-ups, like the CEO, Chris Ilitch, did they maybe limit him in what they could do, or did they want him to do things a specific way that maybe didn't really work out for Detroit? I mean, that's just a question that I have.
One can only speculate. And not to mention all these injury pile-ups, way beyond his control. Strength and conditioning might need to get looked at.
Yeah. It's a general manager's job to assemble the best team possible and get talent. And, like I said, through the draft, Yzerman really made his money there. Like, he got great prospects through the draft. Had a bit more trouble in free agency. But honestly, there were teams in Detroit under the Yzerman plan that were good enough to make the playoffs. They just, for one reason or another, like whether it was February or March, they just kind of fell off a cliff and really struggled. And sometimes, hey, that's beyond the GM right there. Their injuries, as Tyler mentioned, sometimes coaching could have done a better job. So, again, while the Yzerman plan didn't work out the way that Detroit Red Wings fans were hopeful for, here's the thing. I think we should give Steve Yzerman some grace here. Because, all right, it didn't go perfectly, but it's not to say this guy wasn't doing the best he could. I think he was trying the best with what he had, with the know-how that he had. And I think the environment was a lot different here in Detroit than it was in Tampa. But, again, that's just my opinion. And the thing is, regardless, he may not have succeeded as the general manager of the Red Wings, but his legacy as a player for the Red Wings, that's secure. There's no question about that. Steve Yzerman, people are still going to love him in Detroit, especially for how many Stanley Cups he helped the Red Wings win.
Yep, 3 of them in the 97, 98, and 02.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's always that. There's always the fact that the number 19 has the captaincy on it when up in the Raptor to LCA. There's a lot. That's a legacy people now can look back on and fondly now that his time as the head of the hockey operations is over.
Yeah, and hopefully maybe this transition into role will allow him to do more of what he wants to do with this organization, and who knows, maybe it'll have a positive impact. But nevertheless, whatever the reason might be for things not working out for Steve Yzerman as general manager in Detroit, hey, his legacy as a Detroit legend is still secured in that sense. So let's give the man some grace, all right? He gave it his best, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And sometimes it's just one of those cases of just because you were a great player for a team doesn't mean you're going to make a great coach or a great general manager for that team.
Wayne Gretzky, as coach of the Coyotes, says hi.
Oh, one of the exceptions, I guess.
Well, rough in terms of doesn't work out well.
Yeah. Hey, but even if you as we said, his legacy in Detroit, it'll be fine. This is just just a course or a bumpy course that everyone will probably forget about. When people will talk about Steve Yzerman as a Red Wing, they'll talk more about the successful player that he was for the Red Wings as opposed to the general manager who helped turn things around in Detroit.
Yep.
One final thing I'd like to say. So you mentioned Patrick Kane. So I've heard a lot of talks that he's narrowed down his choices in terms of where he wants to go next to between Buffalo and returning back to the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he wants to go back. If he wants to go to Buffalo and play for his hometown team, I certainly wouldn't want to. I don't blame Patrick Kane at all. But that being said, to our general manager, Kyle Davidson, roll up your sleeves and do the best you can and give Patrick Kane an offer. We need to bring some firepower back to Chicago. Nothing would be better than bringing back the legend. Let's bring Showtime back to Chicago. We need the firepower. Right. Bedard's going to be out a whole month. Please, Kyle Davidson, please make an attempt.
I don't mind. I wouldn't be mad if that happened. I mean, yeah, the Tigers got Verlander for a year. Yeah, it's been a disappointment. But here's the thing. You know where he's retiring? With the Tigers, the team that drafted him. How cool would it be to have Patrick Kane re-sign with the Blackhawks and then say, this is my final year. I want to retire with this team. How cool would that be?
It would be not only a fitting end to his career, but you know what? It would cement his legacy as a Chicago Blackhawk. Tyler, I'm with you there. I want to see it happen. All right. Like I said, won't blame him if he wants to go play for his final NHL season with Buffalo, but it would be a fitting end to his career and a cementing of the legacy if he plays one last season with the Chicago Blackhawks and helps them make the playoffs or get back to the playoffs in his final season.
Hey, maybe the joke from that 2010 Magic still left. You never know.
Yeah, he's still playing at a high level, which is good. So I'm not surprised that the Blackhawks are making a push for him, and same with Buffalo. All right, shifting gears to we got one last game in the FIFA World Cup. We got a championship between those conquistadors of Spain and, of course, the Argentines, who they always find a way to win games. Don't they, Tyler?
That they do. It doesn't matter who they go up against. I think it was Cabo Verde?
Yeah, Cabo Verde.
Beat them. Egypt beat them, made them squirm, angry about a few calls here and there. England, it's not coming home. Sorry. You blew it to Messi and the squad.
They really did.
And now they go up against the country that colonized, was there that created that. It colonized much of South America, west of where Brazil modern day borders are. But here's the thing. Spain, they're no joke. Leo Milano, I think he is. Guys like him, they're good. They become a top team in UEFA. But you're going against Messi, who's playing in his last World Cup. I feel like it's going to be Argentina going back to back.
Argentina going back to back. All right. So yeah, Argentina, they're well experienced. They're focused. I mean, they've got plenty of juice in the tank. They know how to come from behind. I mean, they've been challenged in each and every game. And the thing, they kind of got out of all the best teams in the FIFA World Cup, they kind of got the simplest path to the final, and yet they've had to overcome several obstacles and challenges to get to where they are now. But they got their toughest test. As Tyler mentioned, Spain, no joke. Well balanced on both offense and defense. And it's going to be a battle of Spain. You know, that balance of Spain is going to be clashing with Argentina's experience and will. So one of these things is going to have to give in this match. I mean, Argentina, plenty of firepower, plenty of guys who could score. It's a deep team. But we can't overlook Spain. They, too, have some depth, and they are hungry. So with that being said, I'm going to have to disagree with Tyler Lavalette on this one. I've got this game ending in a 2-2 tie, even going into extra time. So we got to go to penalties to decide this, and I'm going to roll with Spain winning in penalties.
Ooh. Well, I mean, Argentina won in penalties last time. But the question is, how will the heat from those same wildfires affect the game? That's going to be a problem in in East Rutherford.
Oh.
Seriously, that's where you're hosting the final. What a joke. What a dump of a stadium. I don't care if it's NFL or Association football. I don't care if you call it New York/New Jersey Stadium for this tournament, or you go by MetLife full time, or for all 16 Giants and Jets games. That stadium is a dump, and you're letting it host the championship over Dallas or LA or even Miami. FIFA, what were you thinking? I know you want New York at the backdrop, but the stadium is bad.
Again, all right, I'm just going to say this. The only reason, Tyler, that they put the final in East Rutherford, New Jersey is to have New York City in the background. That's pretty much it. They wanted it to be as close to the Big Apple as possible. But I am in an agreement. I think having it in Los Angeles or in another stadium like Dallas or maybe even that hockey puck in Las Vegas would have been a better choice.
And Allegiant didn't host any of them, which is
I know
the same. But there's always the likely of a 2038 World Cup.
Yeah, nothing wrong. I mean, further down the line. I mean, the U.S. is going to try again. The U.S. did absolutely. U.S., Canada, Mexico all did a really great job hosting this World Cup. Wouldn't surprise me if we see the World Cup return back to North America in the not-too-distant future.
But for now, we've had fun with all of our international friends visiting.
Yeah.
And they've been wowed by our great country. They've been, especially if you're going to the southern U.S., they've done well.
Absolutely.
And, hey, we've enjoyed having them. The 25th anniversary celebrations with them, which is perfect. But now it's time to crown a champion, and we get to do so on Sunday. But first, let's just briefly go over the England-France matchup in Miami tomorrow.
Go for it.
Sorry, England, but France wins.
Yeah, I've got France winning 2-1. Neither side's going to be really happy either way. I think that the English are reeling much more from the pain than France is. Because, I mean, with France, all right, it was a lackluster. I mean, I won't say it was a 100% lackluster effort against Spain, but Spain did control the tempo of that game, and France never really got going. With England, the English had the Argentines right where they wanted them. They had them. But you know what? As I've said, time and time again, when you play not to lose, you lose.
Oh, and I'm not looking forward to the halftime show because it's going to really mess up the rhythm of players for that game on Sunday. It's just, why, FIFA? You really want to try to Americanize your sport? You do the hydration breaks to try to break up the game into quarters just to sell ad revenue for certain channels. And now you're wanting to do an American-style, Super Bowl-style halftime show. It works fine in the NFL because it's been baked into the event. But football is a different beast. There's a reason this hasn't been tried before. I don't think it will work in 2030. It's got to be one and done, just like the hydration breaks. Do not bring them to 2030 or 2034 or 2038. Also, don't put this on those two future tournaments on either Netflix or YouTube, from what I'm hearing, or having Disney put them on Disney Plus. The reach has worked well because it's been on traditional linear television. Why do you want to take that away, FIFA? We might just be... Either way, we're going to have a champion crowned soon. So, it's been fun, and now time to get down to business.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Tyler that there are things in this World Cup that I hope do not make it out of it. One, of course, is the hydration breaks. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling the purpose of it, as Tyler said, it was not just for hydration and to let the sprinklers run all throughout. the stadiums, but just simply to get as much advertisement money out of it as possible because capitalism.
Well, I mean, it's a moot point when you have someone like when ITV and the BBC in the UK don't show ads, which makes sense for Louder because they're a public broadcaster that doesn't show commercials. And, of course, you got Telemundo's Spanish language coverage dunking on Fox for Alexi Lalas and the fact that they don't show ads during the hydration breaks. Oh, and one other thing FIFA wanting to do is bundle the English and Spanish rights to not have intro competition like we had with Fox and NBC via Telemundo. Fox was reportedly livid at the fact that Telemundo was sapping away English viewers. So that's why FIFA wanting to bundle the rights into both the English and Spanish language, which is like what they're doing for Netflix's coverage of the Women's World Cup next year. So that's something they're going to want to try to eliminate for good. So that's an inevitability that we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah. So pretty much in conclusion, like hopefully the hydration breaks don't come back and a few other things, but hopefully we see more in the World Cups to come. I'm hoping we'll see more positive fan interactions, kind of like we saw in this World Cup. I mean, you had the Vikings rowing in Times Square. You had, of course, we got to thank the Scottish for drying up Boston and marching on the streets. That was awesome, too. And
Thanks, good job, Scotland.
And we got people from England talking about how the stadiums were really nice here. And, of course, some people having their first Chick-fil-A experience.
Some going to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
The obsession with ranch. Really? Heck, airports are showing packets of ranch powdered because the TSA confiscating ranch dressing. So there's a market they're capitalizing on.
Yeah. So pretty much to wrap this up, my favorite part about this World Cup, regardless of who wins the championship, it's not been the matches or just the action. It's been, the fans. The fans watching the joy that fan bases from all around the world and the positive experiences they've had in the United States. That to me has been the best part about this World Cup. And that's why the U.S. has been an absolute, and along with Mexico and Canada, they've been absolute great hosts for this World Cup because the fan experiences speak for themselves. You see it all over YouTube or whatever media you use to watch these videos. It was an amazing World Cup for the fans.
Yeah, and heck, like I kept mentioning, all the baseball games that had the drought chance going better than Boston, Miami, New York, Atlanta, Houston. Baseball really did well in spite of with the World Cup. So they had a nice little attendance boost there. So, good job to all. We did the U.S. to all the cities that hosted. You did good. And to the next 6 host countries coming up, the 3 centenary hosts and the main event in Morocco, Spain, Portugal. Good luck. You're gonna have fun. And to Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina, I don't know if you're gonna have just one match each or an entire group. If they expand the tournament, please don't. But I hope you guys do good as well. So, good luck. Someone's going to win a championship. And to all 6 hosts in 2030, like I said, good luck.
Once more, special thanks to every fan base from every country who came out and watched the World Cup. And thank you for sharing your experiences here in North America with the rest of us. And I will say this, if Spain ends up winning the World Cup on Sunday, one of the host nations is going to be the defending World Cup champs, if that happens.
Dang, who would have thought that would be happening? It's like, I can't find much of an opportunity to say the defending World Cup champ gets to is hosting an event. I'm going to have to do some looking to see if that's ever happened before.
It might have, but it feels like it's been a long time. I mean, France, of course, won in '98 in their own backyard, of course.
But I mean, but didn't enter a World Cup as the defending champs, though.
Very
true. It went to Korea, Japan, and South Korea, Japan in 2002, so.
Yeah, not an easy task. Like, if Spain ends up winning it, sure, they'll have home field advantage, as defending World Cup champs going into 2030. But it won't be an easy thing. But I wish Spain all the best. And same with Portugal and Morocco.
Yep, and like I said, those 3 centenary hosts in South America. Hope you guys do well.
Yep. Thanks for a great World Cup, everyone. And speaking of the World Cup, obviously, here's the thing. This is how another way I'm going to look at this World Cup, this FIFA World Cup. It was Erling Haaland's World Cup. It was his world. We all were just living in it.
Yeah, we were.
And, of course, he is the subject of this week's golden moment in sports. I mean, he's a great footballer, but let me tell you, very few athletes. I've seen fewer guys who are better with kids than Erling Haaland. Let's take a look at this clip.
Hello, Vinny. It's Erling here. I heard that you're the Brazilian Erling Haaland, and I appreciate that. And long hair is really nice, so keep it and don't care about what everyone says. And also, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Feliz aniversário.
Oi, Harley. Aqui é o Vini. Eu amei o vídeo e eu não acreditei. I love you. Vamos, Harley, fazer muito gol!
To give you guys some context, Erling Haaland, he basically sent a message to this boy who had been bullied for having, long hair like Erling Haaland himself. And Haaland told them happy birthday and told him, hey, don't worry about what everyone else says about having long hair because long hair is a good thing. And he even went as far as to call them the Brazilian Erling Haaland. So really class act of Mr. Haaland. And I've seen a lot of videos online, him interacting with kids. He's absolutely great with kids, but this is really wholesome. And you know what? This is a guy combating darkness that we see in this world in all the right ways too.
What a guy. Now that, for those of you that like football, that is a role model you should look up to. What a gentleman and a scholar in his own right. He's just that wholesome. And he did good for Norway, too. Let's not forget. There's a reason they kept on rowing for as long as they did.
Yep, they got to the round of 8. They got the furthest the country's ever gone in the World Cup because of him. He led the charge, and they followed his example. And you know what? Win or lose, I tell you what, Norway was everybody's favorite team. Even as all us Americans, we were behind Norway, and a lot because of Erling Haaland. And Mr. Haaland, thank you for making this World Cup memorable. Keep your head up high, man. You did great, and we hope to see you in the United States very, very soon because, Erling, you the man.
Yep, you're the man.
All right, sports fans, that's all me and Tyler got for this week's Friday Roundtable. Special thanks to my man Tyler Lavalette and Josh, Whitney, Jim, everybody who works hard here in the studio. Thank you so much for everything you do. This would not be possible without you folks. And once again, follow us on Two Guys Talk Sports and other things on YouTube for more videos like this. And follow us on Two Guys Talk Sports on Facebook for similar content. And once again, I just want to say this real quick. Stay safe and protect your lungs from the smoke because you don't want any of this smoke.
Yes, trust us. Our voices are struggling too. So it's just the effects of what's been going on. It's not pretty. Don't be surprised if any of the events you're doing, if any events get canceled or anything going forward for a little bit longer. It's just not pretty out there. Stay indoors as much as possible.
Yep. Stay safe, sports fans. And me and Tyler, we will see you next week for another Friday Roundtable. For now, this is Jake Waxman.
And Tyler Lavalette.
Wishing you all a great week, everyone. Take care. Stay safe.